So I kicked off the new year with an event called Vision 2020, which focused specifically on social entrepreneurship. And I had this thought to do this in mind, pretty much because I saw that there was a need to be able to provide foundational information to all business owners. With this particular event, I thought it would be a great idea just to gather a group of individuals who were interested in starting a business, who wanted to learn the fundamentals of what it means to be in a nonprofit, and then also, if you wanted to start a for-profit business, the pros and cons of each one as well. The first thing you have to think about is, going through the phase of concept phase and writing everything down as you want it to appear and you visualize as you want your business to grow. And then on the back end, what we did is we added in a portion specifically for discretionary funding and how you're able to pull that funding in or apply for that funding with the respective politicians that are currently in office. Right now, what I'm really focusing on is anyone who is looking to really try something different in the realm of starting social entrepreneurship. I wanted to make sure that businesses, especially businesses of color, have that, resource and, foundation so that they could be successful long term. Welcome to the Real Journey of the Entrepreneur. The journey of any entrepreneur begins with a decision, then writing down your vision, then the execution of that vision. It is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who understand how powerful your mind is and that you can truly create the life that you deserve. It does require a unique formula that includes belief in yourself, a lot of consistency, connecting with an OG, a lot of tears, missing out on a few events and things, and taking a whole lot of risks that will allow you to see your vision and dream come to pass. This journey of the entrepreneur is from the perspective of a wonderful mother, a business owner, whose goal is to break generational barriers and normalize the process of wealth building and financial wellness through entrepreneurship, all while creating a social and give back along the way. I am sharing this journey with you and invite you to share this process with me. Let's do this together. It's my own, but you have to feel comfortable to own it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I will always support you.
Thank you.
Well, hey there, good people. We are back. We are back for season 3. Can you believe it? Season 3. Every time I look at the video, I always say that they should have told me to comb the back of my head or something like that. It was just, but you try to be in a natural state and really show, what it's really like to be in this space as a business owner. So I am really excited to welcome you to another episode. And guess what? I am bringing the best along with me for this episode. And I think you all know I love food. Like, the pandemic has been probably too good for me in terms of like food. Like it just all over. But this specific space that we are going to be focusing on is really about challenging yourself and really understand how do you deal with change and also resilience. My next guest is really going to unpack that in terms of being in a space of transitioning from one specific space to another space and really helping us to learn about what it means to pivot and really continue through the process of having a business. So I always say that I have the best seat in the house. Why? Because I get to interview those entrepreneurs who are stepping into the space of being, creating, and growing these dreams that they have. Some of it came as a result of, being pushed or change within their own lives. And others are really out in these spaces creating the life that they want to see for themselves and for their families. And guess what? My next guest is no different. So, enough of me, because you're going to see plenty of me during the process. But I want to welcome to the show Miss Shana B, who is the owner of Be Soulful Restaurant. Hi, Shana.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing amazing. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. No complaints. Thank God. No complaints.
So, I would like to start off by having you really just introduce to the audience who you are and what you do as a business owner.
Well, I am Shana B. I am a wife and mother and grandmother. Also, I like to consider myself a serial entrepreneur. Right now, I'm focusing on Be Soulful, but I have other career entrepreneurial, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Other ventures. I'm sorry, lost my train of thought that I'm working on as we speak for 2023. But right now, we're concentrating on Be Soulful. I've been doing this restaurant industry, for about 15 years now. So I have a lot of experience and I've learned a lot and I'm willing to learn more. That's me.
And that's just a small portion. So I have when I was introduced to your facility, it was known as B Tavern,
Mm-hmm,
which and it's now known as Be Soulful, the restaurant.
mm-hmm.
Would you be able to describe first why did you get started in this industry? Like, what made you transition? You do have a significant amount of experience in the restaurant industry, but why did you decide to transition to your own space?
Transition into the bar, Be
To the
Tavern,
bar,
Be
like just
Soulful.
yeah, to the bar. Just starting
Okay.
because just starting into the bar because now you've made a number of transitions, one from bar to now restaurant. So what does that look like for you now?
So, like I said, I have a lot of entrepreneurial experience. So, at one point, I owned a beauty salon and a nail salon, and I owned it. I had no clue how to do hair. I had no clue how to do nails, and it was tough because if a stylist called out, I was stuck because who was going to assist the customer? So I learned from that. I learned that my next venture, I need to understand how to work the industry. What to do. So with that being said, I closed my salon, I sold it, and I decided to learn more about the bar business. So I put myself in bartending school. I worked numerous jobs around New York City, doing waitressing, doing bartending, and then I realized that that wasn't what I wanted to do. It was just too much work to own a bar, and the money was good though, so I still stayed with it, and I continued doing that. And I ventured out to other opportunities, but I stayed with it. So over the years, I got older, I got a little more mature, my kids got older, and I had more time. And I said, well, let's revisit this again. So we had another business venture. And when I say we, my husband and I, and we came across this while we had the other business. And we decided that, this might be a good time. In our lives, we're older, the kids are older, they don't need us as much. We have a little bit more time to dedicate because that's what stopped me before. It was just too much work. It's not an easy thing. So then we found a place, which was here. It was closed when we found it. So, they were eager to get someone to rent it. So it was just an opportunity that fell at the right time. And here we are.
So you initially started in the bar business, but then
Mm-hmm.
transitioned over to being a full-fledged restaurant. Why did that occur? And when did that occur?
COVID. That's
Mm,
that's that's it. We were shut down March of 2020, and we didn't reopen until February of 21.
wow.
And it wasn't working from February to I want to say February to April. It wasn't, it wasn't generating what we needed. We could barely get people in. We were still under regulations that you couldn't have people in. It was mostly like takeouts. So we tried to, do the take to go drinks, do takeout, and it just wasn't working. And we discussed it with our executive chef, and we decided, let's offer food because restaurants were booming. If you remember, they were
Right,
the only ones that was really making money back
right,
then. And I don't know if cabin fever or people just wanted some sort of getting out, but they were booming and bars weren't. So, we sat down, we said, hey, you know what? We have the opportunity, we have the space, we have the manpower, we have the kitchen, and we definitely have the expertise. Let's
mhm.
roll into a restaurant. And that's how Be Soulful became.
Wow. And what are some of your specialties that you have that you offer? Because I can tell you, I've been, and
Mhm.
every time I leave, I'm like, this reminds me of home, like a home meal. It's a space where it feels like you could just take your shoes off. I won't advise you all to do that in a restaurant, but I'm describing the
So
level
that's
of
the feel we
comfort.
want.
The level of comfort that, as specifically I feel, and also my little CEO as well. We
Hmm.
just love it there. And so,
Hmm.
what are some of the specialties that you offer? And also, I think the other thing I want to ask too, in addition to the specialties, how did you decide on the restaurant culture that you've created?
Okay. Well, okay, so let's start with the culture part. I am a Black woman. My father's Chinese, but my mom is a Black woman. I was raised by my great grandparents who are from Augusta, Georgia, and South Carolina.
Mm,
So I grew up of soul food and Southern culture. And that's something that I've always treasured. That's something I've always loved, and it's something that I will never stray from. So,
mm,
when building and opening a soul food restaurant, I wanted to incorporate my childhood into here. And I made it so that it's a comforting place. You feel very comfortable with your family, with your girlfriends, with date night, group activities. It's a space that you can feel comfortable as a Black person. Um, and for others too, I'm not discriminating by no means, but I made it so that it catered to us because we don't have many places that cater to us. So we needed that. And our food just puts everything in place. And it's good, it fits. We also get to teach other people of our culture because we get to explain where the menu items come from, how they came about. We have an excellent playlist that everyone loves, and it just makes you feel like a good vibe when you're in here. And that's what everyone loves, of all cultures, of all ethnicities. Everyone loves that vibe. The food, when you ask for specialties, I would definitely say our honey collard greens is very, very good and popular. Our fried chicken, our peach cobbler, our homemade sweet potato pie, all of the favorites that you had when you're with your family and growing up and, having those family dinners. And food, is a big source of love.
mhm.
And that's how we show our love to our families. We have these elaborate dinners. It's not always on Christmas or Thanksgiving. It's usually done on Sundays. And we always have a family dinner, and we want to be that place to keep that going for the future because a lot of things have changed over the years. We don't do the same things that we did years ago. So if we can still keep the same customs and you can do it here, then so be it. Here we are.
And my daughter loves Jace's mac and cheese. So
Yes, yes. Oh, yeah, that's a definite favorite as well. Jason's actually my grandson. That's what that's named after.
yep.
And that started because that's all he eats is mac and cheese and cornbread. So we gave him his own meal.
And that's how you start to bring that's it's interesting because
Hmm.
you are and have included your grandson into the space of the
Hmm.
business by
Hmm.
when he comes in, he's like, that's me, that's
Yeah,
my mac and cheese.
definitely,
And
definitely.
so you as I heard, made the transition to a full-fledged restaurant in the midst of a pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know the why, but it's like how, like like the how, with all of the, challenges that were being experienced, you and your team managed to decide that this is, a space that we want to enter into. Was it scary?
Yes, it was. Well, just to give you a little background, I had COVID. So when that happened, we were debating, were we going to close fully? And we decided to come back. And it was entering a different um, realm of things. A bar was late nights. It was, get a DJ, get a bartender, or have an event, and that was easy. But now, restaurant, it calls for more creativity. It calls for more patience because you're dealing with multiple people now.
Mhm.
When I say people, I mean personalities wise, because you have to cater to customers, more employees, and it's a challenge. It's not something that anyone can do, because if they can, then you would see a lot more. You don't.
Mhm.
It's not an easy task, and we had to learn things. We had to be open to change, be challenged. It was a lot to adapt to. At one point, my entire family was working in here
Mhm.
because we just needed help from everywhere, and they were the only ones. And plus, it was a way we could see each other too, because we were giving all our time in here.
Yeah.
So at some point, hey, I'll see you at the restaurant. We get to see them, but it was challenging for everyone involved. It wasn't just myself, my husband, and my workers. It was our families too.
Mhm.
They lost. That's what I said. When we got older, we figured we had more time. But a restaurant is a whole different thing than a bar. It is completely different. I don't equate them the same at all. At
Mm.
all. You know. I have longer days now because although we open at 3, my day starts from the moment I wake up. I have to do orders. I have to do um, emails. I have to do marketing. I have to do, like, my day starts from the moment I wake up. Opposed to a bar, you just walk in and it is what it is. you know. Yeah, it's a lot. Inventory, cleaning, and scheduling different suppliers to come in, because there's always, we always have to expand and figure out who to go with this week, this month, this season, and so on. I'm sure you can relate to that because that's a business module, but it's just a lot more intense, I can say, with a restaurant. So we accepted the challenge. We are now entering 2023. That would be our second year in business as a restaurant. Things are going well. We are growing. I am so proud of the growth that has happened in the last year and a half. We have customers from all over that come to us, and some as far as like almost 2 hours away that come to us regularly. And that's big. That's major for us because that means our reach is really reaching. You know what I mean? And um, we continue to be creative and to keep bringing new people in. And that right there in its own is not an easy thing to do because you have to find motivation. And that's why we try, we try to have personal time so that you can find that motivation, because there's a balance in between work and personal time. And you have to make that you have to adapt to that. And if you don't, then you're going to just be stuck. And that's probably why a lot of businesses close. They just didn't have that motivation anymore to have that creativity and to do things differently. And that sucks because that's all it is. But like I said, it's not something that's easily attainable either.
So I like that you mentioned the importance of self-care.
Hmm.
Um, how do you prioritize that for yourself?
Well,
'Cause you wear
having
a number
COVID.
of different hats.
Having COVID, that taught me that.
Mm.
Laying in that hospital on that ventilator, realizing, that things can change at any moment. You have to take the time out. And I learned that that year that I did take off, I had so many ideas going. My
Mm,
creativity was back, my motivation was back, and I felt like, hey, this is something that, I can do. I just need a break sometimes to revamp myself, and
mhm,
that's all it takes. So I prioritize that. I make sure we get 2 days is closed. I take one of those days and I just focus on me. I don't
mm,
focus on nothing else. I don't focus on family. Sorry. I don't focus on business. I focus on me. And then the next day, I focus on the business and so on. My family always there. That was, I should have said that, but I did. But, and during that time that I'm focusing on me, I'm clearing out the clutter that's in my
mm.
head, and I'm making more room to have new ideas come in. And that's just how it's been, and that's how it's going to be. And I'm very happy that I came to this point.
Mm. I received that, clearing out the clutter. I definitely received that. Um,
Yeah.
it's important. It's not optional, specifically if you're in business for yourself, not to provide care for yourself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely say that I have a few layers that I'm, just personally dealing with being a mom,
Mm-hmm.
to someone who's watching you. You want to make sure, at least I want to make sure that I'm teaching the proper way to do business, but also to care for yourself. And
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
those models, we get, habits and things that are passed down to us by what we saw within our
Mm-hmm.
family. And so if
Yep.
I can do better, even if it's like having something small, like having a bottle of water near me and consistently drinking water or taking a walk, which we do, is to me that's something that is important
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
specifically for next generation, and that's not
Yep.
optional.
Absolutely. I've gone to the extent that I even have a separate phone line because I
Mm,
realized I had to separate the two. Um, you know, the the frugal me didn't see that before, but now it's a must. It has to be a separation. It definitely has to be. Or I'll be crazy. That's it. That's the bottom line. So you have to separate, and you have to take time for yourself, and you have to make the time, because sometimes people are not going to give you that. They're not.
right,
And you just have to put your foot down and you have to take it.
right.
And I wish that more business owners did that, and they would see the difference that it makes. It makes a big difference, and I understand that, we all have to grind, and, they have this term, no sleep, money is this, but that's not going to get you there. It's
Mm-mm.
not at all. You have to have self-care.
I do not subscribe to the no sleep. In fact, I build in naps. And I
Yeah.
said it out
Yeah.
loud. I build in naps. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, because this is, particularly a mom of a little one. Yeah, I do. She may not want a nap, but I do. So thankful for naps. So, um, as we are closing up our conversation, what are the three things or a few things that you can offer if someone is interested in following in your footsteps?
um Make sure you know who your target audience is. I think that's key to everything. So what I mean by target audience is who your customer is, so that you know how to cater your business around. So you need to know how old this customer is. Is this customer male or female? What this customer likes? What is the not necessarily the culture, but who this market will bring in.
Mm,
Meaning, if you're going for the single mom, you're going for the mom of three, you're going for the childless woman, you have to figure out and go from there. So, for example, let's say you're going for a mom, a married mom, let's say. So, you know that that mom has a husband, she has children, most women have friends, And she, if she has children, so she's going to be into her family as well. So now you just opened up a whole, um, what's the word I'm looking for? You just opened up a whole avenue of other customers that you have to cater to based on that target customer, which means you can do date nights, you can do family nights, you can do business hookups, you can do catering because she's family oriented, so she's going to need catering. So that right there helps you build your business. And that's why a target customer is so important, because that's the only way you can figure out who it is. And don't lose focus on that target customer, because not all the time that target customer is going to come through the door. And you're going to welcome all customers, but you have to stay focused on that one customer. And you have to make sure that it works for your business too. Now, I can't say that, okay, I only want this particular customer, because then I lose the rest. But you just have to have it that it caters to that. And you'll see the difference. You'll see a big difference. Did I explain that enough for you to understand that? Okay.
Do you have two more ideas to offer?
Yes. So just make sure you're open to change. You have to be resilient in this business. You have to be open to change, because at any moment things can happen. And don't stop learning. And networking is very, very important. I've met a lot of people and have accomplished a lot just by networking alone. And networking can mean many different things. You know, you might meet someone that's an accountant that can help you, but that accountant, you reach into their network. They can get you a contract. They can get you a food distributor. You just never know how far networking can get you, but it's always good to have a great network. And I take from my network, but I also give to my network. So for example, if someone comes to me and they're having an issue, I know who in my phone I can give them to help them fix their issue. And that comes back full circle all the time. That is a very important thing that I think a lot of people don't realize. Use your network and network. It's very, very important. You just never know. I've built so many relationships, especially my husband and I, just from college friends to business associates, and it's worked. I mean, a lot. You know, we always pass along information on, you know, what's good to get into now. And that's why I've been able to do different things in business as far as being an entrepreneur. You know, I've had a beauty salon, I've had a nail salon, I've had a barbershop, I've had another bar industry, and now I'm entering in a whole different thing. But it's all because of my networking. And I think that's important. But like I said, if I had to say, the biggest thing is just focus on your target. Obviously, you need to have enough money to cover you for emergencies. Don't go into this business and go broke with it. You have to make sure you have enough capital in you that you can sustain through everything. Because I mentioned to you that COVID, we were closed for a year, but those bills still had to be paid, you know, and we didn't qualify for PPE. We were too new. And we had to pay for those. That, you know, we had to pay for that whole cost. And we had to find, you know, ways to make money. And we did. You know, we rented out our kitchen for a couple of months to local businesses. You know, you have to figure things out. And you just have to be open to, like I said, the change. That's where change comes in. You know, okay, well, what are we going to do to fix this? Okay, well, this is what we're going to do. And you have to think fast, but you also have to understand what you're about to enter. You know, I'm just blessed that I can think fast and I can be calculating in things and see, okay, if I go this way, this is what's going to happen. If I go this way, I always like to do that. And it's worked for me. And if I had advice, that would be the best advice I can give.
So I was trying to type really fast. So hopefully I captured them all. So your tips are really important. So knowing who your customers are and stay focused on catering to them. Be open to change. Do not stop learning. I say that all the time. Doesn't matter where you are in your business space. Always take the time to learn something and be open to learn it. So I'm a huge advocate of that. Use your network and network with others. Do not forget to talk to the janitor if you are in a
Mm-hmm.
corporate building, because you
Yep.
never know who they know.
Exactly.
And capital,
Exactly.
having capital is important
Mm-hmm.
when you are starting your business, because there may be, not maybe, there are dry spells in business. I
Mm-hmm.
experienced them, even though I do not have a brick and mortar. I experienced
Mm-hmm.
them as well. So
Mm-hmm.
being able to manage your resources in times of drought for business is really critical for sustainability. Cannot
Absolutely.
emphasize that enough.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So tell us, Miss Shana, where are you located?
We are in downtown Middletown. We are 29 Center Street, Middletown, New York. We're directly across from the library. So we're in the area of where the police station is, DMV, the courthouse, and yeah, and Main Street is around the corner. So right in that downtown area, we're right on the corner of James Street and Center Street, right there.
So all y'all Brooklyn folks, please do not be clogging up reservations just to get up this way. Please and thank you. But the goodness is there. I can tell you that this year we spent Mother's Day there, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize we did a tradition, because this was our
Mm-hmm.
second time spending Mother's Day there, and the food is amazing. And like I
Yeah.
said, don't being there taking your shoes off because you saw this show talking about, we at home, so I'm just going to eat the Jace mac and cheese. But definitely, if you are looking for a destination to hang out with your family, there are plenty of opportunities to support this business. But the food is really good. So definitely like, share, attend, buy gift certificates for
Mm-hmm.
businesses as well,
Yeah.
that you can share for this holiday season and beyond. But it's definitely one where, you can support in as many ways as you can. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. We will be back probably sooner than later to get some goodness,
Yeah.
because I'm not I'm not cooking. Um, but is there any final words that you want to share as we are parting ways for this short time?
Just stay true to yourself. You know, stay true to who you are. Don't change who you are. I always say adapt to change, but you know what your core is, and you need to stay true to that. There's going to be times that people are really going to test you and really try you, and I don't mean like people per se, just the industry in itself, just like COVID. But you have to stay true. I am an entrepreneur. This is what I'm going to do, and I have to stay the course. And how I'm going to stay this course, this is what I'm going to do. And I had to have that pep talk with myself. And I think that was important. And I definitely think you should do the same, because that's the only way you can sustain yourself, is being true to yourself.
Mhm. It's too much effort being someone else.
A lot of people change. They're not, they don't stay true to who they are. They're not authentic. And, that's people every day. It's not just
Yeah.
entrepreneurs, but it's important that an entrepreneur stays true to themselves. But like you said, who has time to be somebody else? I'm fabulous. I need to be me.
Clap that up, because in real life, she really is fabulous. Make sure you
Yeah.
follow Shana and Be Soulful on Instagram, and you'll see all the extra fabulousness. Trust,
Yes.
it's
Thank
worth
you.
it. And I'm sending you, thank you so much again, sending you
Thank
virtual
you.
hugs and kisses, and we will see you again soon.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Take
All
care.
right. You too.
So again, we are really, really excited, and you heard it here on the show. Not from my words, but just be sure you continue to understand as you're entering into the space, know who your customers are, stay focused on catering to them, be open to change, do not stop learning. Use your network and network with others. Capital is important when you are entering into that space. Be Soulful restaurant is located at 29 Center Street in Middletown, New York. Do not hesitate if you need a trip to go. Wanted to also share that if you're interested in being featured or buying ad space, please do not hesitate to call us at 718-691-8966, or you can send over email at info@11375.com. On that note, I want to thank you all for taking the time to check out the journey of entrepreneurship. We look forward to having you join us for future episodes. And again, the time is now. If you are interested in joining and being a part of this specific episode, please, again, do not hesitate to contact us. And we thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to 11375. My name is Anita Pierce, and I am the owner of a New York-based MWBE certified business consultancy. We focus on business education for startups, and we also connect mid-sized companies, corporations, community-based organizations, and government agencies to foster affordable solutions that will allow your business to flourish. We elevate the awareness of our communities with regards to financial, mental, and also economic wellness. Some of our services include project management, training and facilitation, stakeholder engagement, and also advocacy within the business community. If you're interested in some of our services or all of them, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We're on all of the social platforms at 11375, or you can check us out at our website at 11375.com. We look forward to supporting you and your business goals.